scrotivated, Tom. Jesus. Right. Or as my text would say, scrotivated.
It's not funny, but
the face. I mean, for our viewers, this face is not fun.
it's not funny. We are tWoTcast, episode 292.
All right, everyone, shut the fuck up.
Wheel of Time, reread podcast, explicit and R freaking rated. Jono's the wild card, always talking shit. Joe's the straight man, he's a total dick. Tom calls in if he's not too busy. We are tWoTcast!
You're listening to tWoTcast, the Wheel Time reread podcast. Now covering Robert Jordan's The Wheel Time Book 3, The Dragon Reborn.
Oh, man.
What is happening to you idiots?
You keep taking fun of the fact that we always make fun of the intro. And your response was to blow up the fucking writing for the intro. Because again, we can't even do our own intro 100 times in a fucking row.
With me, as always, is Jono.
Jono!
Who has yet to... You're on an unending streak of talking about how we have not memorized the script yet.
You are too!
You've memorized that part.
Blow it up. Let me zoom in on my name.
Joe.
God damn it. Hey, guys. Fucking.
That's for the viewers. I'm telling. It's very large. Study your math.
Holy shit, you do need bifocals.
I blew that up real big.
You know what's going to be really funny? When we're still doing this and you're 50.
It's really not that far away. It's not that far away. It's not that far away for you, dummy. You're not that much younger than me. You're not my son. You're 3 years younger than me.
I'm not talking about... I didn't say I wouldn't be 47. I'm just saying on the track that we're on to finish these books and talk about the show, we'll literally still be doing this when you're 50.
I'll never stop until we have 1 billion.
Never stop. Can't stop, won't stop.
1 billion.
1 billion. Oh,
That's an extremely large number.
that seemed like a really big jump. 1 million, and then we're going to go to 1 billion. Just multiply that by 1,000. And so,
I mean, we've already had millions upon millions of downloads, but I don't think you understand how many millions go into a billion.
I mean,
1,000.
it's like
that can't be right. That can't be right.
100 billion.
God damn.
This is the time where we do. This is the time where we do small talk. What did you ask me?
Well, I was going to ask if you had looked at the cover of what I'm using as for the book as my wife's Kindle, and it looks fascinating. The book advertised is called Better Hedges. It's a library and lowbrow. Or I'm sorry. Wow, good start. Literary and lowbrow. You'll never look at your landscaping crew again the same way.
I don't have a landscaping crew.
I want to discuss this book next week. That's my small talk. Is I think we should switch from the Dragon Reborn to Better Hedges by Jimmy Davis.
I mean, we're not going to switch.
We can.
We could do it after we're done with this, which will be in the year 2032.
Yeah.
And Tom will be how old?
I'll be dead. Are you fucking kidding?
That's true. Yeah. It's funny.
That's depressing as fuck and entirely possible.
Also, it's not true.
Study your math. Tom will
As me and Jono have said many times, Tom is like a scarecrow skin sack filled with cigarette butts soaked in alcohol. There's nothing in there. I don't know how you operate.
I'm pretty sure you know the way this is going to go is that I'm going to outlive all of you. It's going to be embarrassing.
Yeah, like our grandmother style. Just go out and blaze of glory.
I'm unkillable. You fucking kidding me?
I laugh at the literal mental image of you ashing your dick when you take a piss. Like, it's just such a fucking disturbing, just like he's a skin sack full of cigarettes. Watch him ash his dick.
That's not nice to laugh at his dick.
Put up a drawing of it for the viewers?
Okay, well, I can draw it right now.
And you can see right there, that's the body. Wait, there's the arms.
So
cigarette like dick. Looks pretty big on a stick man. I'm just kidding. I don't know if anyone can see that. It's pretty debatable whether or not they're viewers. I think they are.
I don't know. I think it's not debatable. They're viewers.
It's 50-50 whether or not.
I don't know. Pretty sure they're viewers.
If you're watching this right now, send us a message.
They're watching it. It's their viewers.
I would. I'm just saying, if anyone's watching this right now, I definitely need to get a message. Tell me how that drawing went. Why did you send that in the chat?
You said to. You said to say something in the chat.
For those that are viewing, they would have seen that pop up on the screen. Jono wrote, "I'm watching" in the chat of the Zoom call.
I read The Spy Who Loved Me, continuing my James Bond series of reading.
Is this going to be a long story about somebody's anus getting ripped out?
No.
I don't need that in my life.
I had fingers crossed for that in this one because it was really weird. But no, nothing amazing like that happened, unfortunately. But it was the weirdest Bond book I've ever read. It was completely from the woman's perspective. And James Bond isn't in it until the very end of the book. And he's like halfway through. So like,
who would
it
want
was
to
so
read
strange.
that?
I was like, what's going on?
I don't even understand.
And then I got like way into the book. And then she was like basically she's in a motel in the middle of nowhere for some weird circumstances. And two gangsters come in to like kind of like burn the place down for insurance money, essentially. And they're literally all by themselves in like a vacation town, like outside of vacation time.
Like a Skyfall type situation?
Sort of, yeah. Actually, yes. Because it's
was
nothing like the
type
movie
situation.
The Spy Who Loved Me. It's nothing like the movie. And then I'm so just like, this is the fucking weird. This is nothing like that Lazenby movie. And then I got like halfway through, and then
Lazenby wasn't in The Spy Who Loved Me.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Oh,
Lazenby is in On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Oh, Her Majesty's Secret Service.
It's Roger Moore in Spy Who Loved Me.
Yeah, Roger Moore, yeah. But yeah, it's just like nothing like that. There's one of the gangster guys has like a little bit of a grill, and I'm like, is that Jaws? Like what?
I wish the viewers could have seen how serious Jono's face got when he corrected you.
He did get very serious.
Like serious.
I said the wrong name for our viewers.
Yeah.
Like kind of disgusted.
Anyway,
like that's all. Better.
No, there's no. It was just the weirdest James Bond book I've ever read. Basically, I was like,
you guys ready for the new James Bond movie?
Weird departure.
Yes. Are you guys ready to go to the fucking movie theater and tuxes and ball gowns with our women and go get some fucking drinks at one of the
ball gowns? Sexy dresses.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck. I don't
Slinky. Know. Yeah, Slinky. Made of
or a
bikini
Slinkies. With a knife belt. Either way.
Yeah, that works too. High heels, of course.
Yes, obviously.
What would you do? It just actually, I showed up in a bikini and knife belt.
we take a lot of pictures and post them all on Twitter.
We're all going to wear tuxes, and then Jono just shows up with a bikini and a knife belt on.
Like immediately.
But yeah, I'm fucking excited.
Somehow he's actually wet.
Have you guys somehow? This pussy's always wet. Have you guys been to the theater recently?
No, not yet.
I saw Mortal Kombat.
Oh my god! Seriously? Why? I saw that on HBO Max. It was the worst goddamn movie I've ever seen.
It was really bad.
Awful. I went with Bill One just because I hadn't hung out with him in a while. So yeah, it was definitely.
That's insane.
You know the worst?
You paid money to see that.
The worst part about that movie is the first like 3 to 4 minutes, maybe even more. You're just like, this can't possibly be as bad as everybody says. This actually seems pretty decent, and then like it just goes
immediately down.
Not even downhill. Like what's downhill times 10?
Off a cliff.
Yeah, I guess so. At like, yeah, at the speed of light.
Yeah. Zero parachute, speed of light also speed of light.
To a bottomless pit.
Yeah.
It's so abysmal.
You never hit the bottom. It just keeps falling. No one I thought the strangest part about that movie was like the entire movie, and I'm obviously they're fingers crossed for the sequel, but like they never even get to the goddamn tournament they're talking about.
The whole point of the movie never existed. Also, another weird part
they're breaking the rules of the tournament. what do we do when we get to the tournament? And then it never happens.
Why do they keep making these movies? And then the characters are pretty cool. And they're like, all right, and then we're going to have fighting. And we're like, awesome. And they're like, and then here's like this magic shit on an alien planet. Like, why did you do that? Have you ever seen Bloodsport or The Karate Kid? Just have the tournament. Allude to the weirdness of it. You don't have to actually like.
I don't mind the idea of showing Outworld at the beginning. But what I do mind is that's half like a quarter of the movie is Outworld with like talking to whatever the fuck his name is, Shang Tsung, like outside there. Goro, if you remember, like the first like fucking like one or two games, Goro was like a fucking important, like hard fucking boss. That dude, by the way, spoiler, fucking dies in like 8 seconds. Once what's the dick, who's not a fucking character in the goddamn game.
He is later, isn't he? There's a lot of Mortal Kombat games, Jono.
No. The person
on 11.
The person who's the main character is not in Mortal Kombat
at all. I just assumed he was in one of the more recent games.
No, I did a lot. I went home. The worst part is I watched this movie, laughed my ass off at how dumb it was, and then I woke up the next morning saying, I have a lot of thoughts that I don't remember about Mortal Kombat. Proceeded to research shit because I was so pissed off about fucking like bad, but at the same time, like, did I miss something? Did I not remember these things? Nope.
I can't believe we talked about Mortal Kombat for this long.
Look, if you want to have a movie that's grounded and good and successful, that also has like a bit of a supernatural element that you can just kind of allude to, just look at Big Trouble in Little China. Which also, Mortal Kombat's probably a ripoff of. Which, and I mean, everybody knows Big Trouble in Little China is a ripoff of Harry Potter.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course.
Which brings us full circle. I finished book 4, Rhythm of War, by Brandon Sanderson, who is, of course, ripping off
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You know, like when Voldemort comes back to life, he's got all those, like, he's got really long nails and they curl up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a guy with a hat come down and do lightning, that's just Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
Big Trouble in Little Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
And we all remember
Spoiler warning.
Professor Flitwick doing that in Harry Potter.
I think I'm just going to talk about Mortal Kombat for the next 40 minutes, so I'm just moving on. Spoiler warning, again, all caps, bold, but in parentheses, so I don't know if it's really that important. So this is our episode covering the Dragon Reborn, written by Robert Jordan. Part 13, that's unlucky, chapters 50 through 53.
Well, we're doing every book in 14 parts, Tom, so there's going to be a 13 in every single one of them. Unless you guys want to do it hotel room style or hotel level style, and there isn't a 13th episode every time.
Hotel room style versus hotel style, slightly different. Hotel room style.
Sometimes it's rooms. Sometimes there's no 13 either in rooms.
Actually,
there's no 13th floor. There's no 13th room.
Yeah, a lot of buildings don't have a 13th floor. Maybe we should just stop the recording right now and say that's tWoTcast for this week. Or court death by
Tom,
demon.
what shirt are you wearing?
Oh, it says room
shit.
It actually says shit. It's not. It actually says room 13 on it.
What the fuck is happening?
Not on purpose.
I looked down. I'm like, that can't be right. Like, really I thought it was maybe 12.
And I actually do want to stop recording now because I'm afraid I'm going to die.
At the very least, change your shirt. Chapter 50 is called The Hammer.
It's about Parent's dick.
Oh, no, it's about that other guy that fights the Rock.
It depends on your perspective. I thought it was about Fail's asshole.
Oh, god damn. Is it about his dick?
Well,
I mean, he's in it.
He is pounding a lot of metal in this chapter.
All right, anyway, here's the recap. Parent and the gang arrive in Tyr. Parent takes a part-time job. They learn Bilal is in Tyr and so are the Isle. And I wrote, this is pretty scary. It's a good tension builder chapter.
Yeah, it is. It's good. 10 years ago, I said it's one of my favorite Parent chapters of all time. Which
anytime
I guess I was liking. I just love the Forge part, like just him like finally feeling calm and being away from the wolves and like kind of like zoning out and working.
Yeah, there's a lot of good parts.
But then we just immediately started talking about how I would like to sit there on a barrel and watch him like Fail, and then we got distracted.
I enjoy Parent and Fail.
I guess I call men beautiful too.
I do agree with you, Tom. That there is something kind of like, it's a great tension building chapter because like you said, Moraine being scared doesn't happen very often. But it's also like a weird kind of like, it's the first time you've ever seen Perrin relax. Like just go, they check into the inn and like, you know, the people are beaten down, whatever the fuck. And he just goes and tries to go work. Like apparently just the smithy calls to him, which is kind of cool, but it's just kind of like, just gonna go.
I do like the part that he just like walks up and starts working the bellows like without saying anything, and it's like it seems very odd. Like,
can you imagine if like another? I'm sure the guy looked at him. And
I can't think of a single other profession where that would be like if somebody's building a house in my neighborhood and I just like walked up and picked up a nail gun and was like, "Oh, dude," and they're like,
"Murderer?
What the fuck? Do you work here? What are you doing?"
To be fair,
you're not wearing a hard hat.
If I was doing anything that was like a lot of labor and somebody came up and they just started working, I'd like watch them for a minute. And if they looked competent, I'd be like, thank Christ.
You'd be like, all right.
My work just got cut in half with it.
Obviously, being a blacksmith it's an apprenticed trade. It's not just like, you know, fucking what Matt does in the fields or whatever. Anyone can work in a field.
He read something quickly on Wikipedia and then ran out there and said, yes. So real quick, just kind of as a kind of antecedent to that, I find it interesting that Fail just realizes why they're there in Tyr. Like Tyr is like kind of, if you know anything about the prophecies, which a noble does, and she knows that the Dragon Reborn exists, why are we in Tyr? Why are we in Tyr? And all of a sudden she's like, oh, fuck. Not where I want to be.
I guess. She kind of already knew though, right?
She knew that it was the Dragon Reborn, but she does not know why they're there for Calendar. And then all of a sudden she figured that she's just like not at all excited to be on the ground there at the city of Tyr in the nation.
She's like, son of a bitch.
She is ready to get the fuck out of there throughout these entire chapters that we're reading. Like she's not actively trying to run away, but the second she gets an opportunity, she's like, oh yeah, let's go. For sure.
She should have read the title of the book. She would have understood a little bit more of why they're there.
I wrote, Perrin and everyone get to Tyr about fucking time. Matt got here first by accident, and he doesn't even know everyone's here.
We see that a lot in these few chapters. Like everybody came so close to intersecting and not.
Yeah.
It's kind of like to your. So what? The first arrivals were actually Egwene and Nynaeve, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Anyway,
well,
presumably
they got there ahead of Rand, I assume. But
who knows?
Yeah. So we don't really know who gets there first, but like they're all like it's almost like some weird cartoon-esque kind of thing, like looking for each other. No one sees them. But the last ones.
Well, to be fair, Nynaeve and Egwene aren't looking for anybody. They're there looking for none of their friends. They're there looking for the Black Aja. It's not weird that they're not like running into.
But the reason they were there was because the Black Aja had a bunch of hints laid out, or maybe the Black Aja did, but Lanfear did, that they were there to capture Rand. So the whole point is still Rand for them.
I don't know. Is that the hints, or was it just the hints was just the period that they were going to Tyr? Did it have anything to do with Rand?
Well, I mean, like Egwene's dreams should show that to be, but still,
Egwene not understanding that she's a dreamer is frustrating. I also said this 10 years ago, but I love how quickly Matt's like, "Oh, this is how my luck works," and he like really quickly figured it out. He's the last one to get superpowers. He figures it out instantly and starts using it right away. Doesn't care at all that it's affecting him. Oh, there's that one brief instance of him being like, "Don't call me a fucking Dark One," or like "Dark One's own eyes." But like other than that, he's like, I'm leaning into this hard. I'm going to talk about gambling all the time. That's all I'm going to do.
The one guy that hates magical powers the most, the second he gets them, is just like, "Fuck yeah, let's go!"
And then every single other character that has magical powers is like, they won't fully learn how to use and embrace their shit for like 13 books. It's hilarious.
13 books now in book 16.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't wait for book 16.
Well, we're still writing 15, Jono, so you're gonna have to wait a little while.
Read up, Tom.
I've written it. It's done.
No, I think.
Sorry. My apologies. All right. Well, I guess let's get.
I like how this blacksmith guy is just like mocking his apprentices. It's like, those worthless fools. They just walked away from the job, and I was like,
in fairness, like that's kind of.
I mean, from his perspective, sure, but it does seem like a grumpy old baby boomer whining about shit.
Wow.
He's just okay, boomer, the fucking blacksmith.
Jesus.
Yeah, I did.
All right.
Written by someone who.
You don't understand my feelings. You son of a bitch.
The worst part is I had to think about
here anymore.
This book came out like 28 years ago, or maybe even more than that.
Yeah,
so a baby boomer was your age.
Was even more annoying.
Do you think Aaron's really good at being a blacksmith, or do you think this blacksmith in the mall is really bad at being a blacksmith? So he sees Parent work and he's like, "Man, you're incredible."
He does say something along the lines of, "You're no apprentice, you're an actual blacksmith."
Yeah.
Which just means like maybe Master Luhan would look at his work and be like, "What are you, an apprentice?"
Yeah.
There's that middle step called
Or like, Master Luhan might just be like, "You can't be an intern here." This guy, but instead, this guy's just like, "Man, you've
been working for how long, and this is your work?"
It is kind of fun. All he does at first is, let's see, does that fit me? Yes. Is this hammer long enough? Yes. Which one of these is salt water? Yes. I pumped the bellows fast at the right speed. Yes.
Yeah.
He's doing it.
Maybe that's how Blade Masters work, and that's why Rand has just ascended so quickly.
Yeah. Oh, he knows how to hold the sword right.
Yeah.
So let's have the battle.
Yeah. Everyone that was actually good at sword fighting died in the breaking. And then like 10 guys that were terrible were just like, "Well, we're the new Blade Masters." All you have to do is beat the worst one, who actually doesn't even know what a sword is. He's just holding a broom.
I don't understand why I keep losing. Ripoff. My sword keeps getting cut in half. Does he know that's not a sword?
Well, no, all right, so back to the good part.
He loses himself in the
If you just have a broom cut in half and you're just like, "I took the sword off a Blade Master."
I think the note about the smith not like blinking at his eyes because he does the job and he doesn't give a fuck is kind of a cool note.
Well, the smith's blind.
Yeah. Now he doesn't see race.
He just doesn't see race, Jono. You could be a frog face boy and you could work the bellows. That blacksmith would be like, "You're welcome here."
I bet that frog guy could work the bellows just with his mouth. What's that pouch under a frog's mouth?
Very nice. Very nice.
I thought you were going with the weird fly catching tongue, but that's better. I like that better.
Fly catching tongue would not be helpful here. Up burn, up burn, up burn. Keep burning my tongue.
Those aren't hot.
So when he finally leaves, I don't know why, because Fayo has been kind of goading him a bit, like, "Oh, you are a blacksmith," which, yeah, I'm massively stronger than everyone. And he does, by the way, I meant to tell you this. Did you know that he gets the hammer from here? A hammer.
Yeah.
The hammer? Or a hammer?
No,
MC hammer?
Another hammer later that he makes himself.
Mick hammer?
Yeah. Is it Mick hammer? That's too legit.
To quit?
No, we don't have the rights to that. Don't say that out loud.
It's too late. It's out there.
He's gonna close this down again.
All the viewers heard it and saw it.
Mitchimer, the MC the 8.
Yeah, just say Mick Hammer.
Oh, but anyway, to where I was going, this is just utter bullshit.
I mean, it's pretty cool. he says you're made to hold a smith's hammer, like as in like you've got really strong arms, and that vest is very tight on you. Come back here anytime you want.
I don't know why. Like, you know, like when the Smith was giving him the thumbs up for choosing the right vest, like I could almost see kind of like he's like big vest, small vest, ultra tight vest, and the Smith's like, yes.
And then the 80s montage starts.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being at a job and like using a tool for the job. At the end of the day, it's like, why don't you keep this? And be like, what am I going to do with this? So I have to throw this out.
Obligating me to come back here and work more?
I'm going to put this in a closet at home. And then like when we move in 5 years, I'm just like, why do I still have this?
I mean,
it's
about
a point,
thing where like there's a trade that like, I don't know. He obviously has several hammers laying around, but at the same time, it's like, you know, that's the first thing you would need to start that trade if he was going to one day become a blacksmith.
But Tom's point, it's actually really funny because like literally says, I can't be a smith right now. Like, okay, well, why don't you take this, which is only for smithing, unless you just want to fucking destroy heads, and weighs 10 pounds and is a literal bird wherever you go. And clearly,
this weighs 10 pounds. You want to carry it everywhere until you maybe open that shop? Like, no.
Also, it's not that expensive because it took literally fucking half a day's work of smithing. So you can get this anywhere.
I don't even want a free sample at the grocery store that comes in a Dixie cup if they don't have a trash can nearby. What do I have to carry this? I got to carry on a goddamn sledgehammer.
Smallest piece of paper. What the fuck is this? What am I supposed to do with it? Put my trash in the cart?
No, you leave it in the other so no one can see you. Anyway, so I don't know what it is. I love this. And so Fail has been saying, like, you are a blacksmith. And he's just talking to himself. He's like, I am a blacksmith. And like, Lan comes up to him and it's just utterly baffled that Perrin's like, I am a blacksmith to him. And he's like, keep your shit together. Shut the fuck up. Let's go.
Yeah, he's like, I know. I know. That's why I called you blacksmith to address you. You fucking idiot kids.
Mad when he calls
Keep
him
your
farm
shit
boy.
straight.
It's like, I'm not a farm boy. And he's not a farm boy. He's a blacksmith.
Do you think Perrin, I mean, hey, spoilers, Perrin survives the last battle. Do you think he ever gets his one day and like he just leaves all the ruling of the two rivers to Fail and he just like goes out back to his smithy shop and starts pounding metal?
No
he
chance.
has an unfortunate industrial accident the day after. Like just fucking burns his arms. Like
he was really fucked up from the end of that book. I don't really remember how badly, but
I mean, if Robert Jordan's bringing in all these random myths, then Perrin absolutely at some point loses an arm.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I honestly can't believe it didn't happen in the main series, but yeah, when they get home, Fail's going to cut his arm off, like for fun, I guess.
Book 15.
Well, as we've discussed,
and then he'll get a metal arm.
Trollocs don't just disappear after the last battle.
Just like
there's all kinds of shit that could happen on the way back to the Two Rivers.
But again, think about it. Where Tom was going was obviously Mortal Kombat. Remember, Jax has that little dinky metal arm.
I don't know if that's where I was going at all.
Not at all.
I was going for the Harry Potter reference about that one person whose arm fell off and got replaced by a metal arm. Yeah, I don't remember. It's not dwell in the details. Anyway, we're ready for the next one.
It's Peter Pettigrew. He's got one arm missing.
That's one hand. He still has his arm because he was a rat.
Oh, but he does get replaced. Yeah, you're not wrong. Right.
And it's metal.
Because
it's metal.
Because he cut his hand off for the Lord, Dark Lord.
For the Lord. I mean, Dark Lord.
All right, wrap it up. We're running out of time.
All right, so Moraine comes in. Lord Salmon is Balal. Like, oh. Also, how does Moraine know? It doesn't matter. We don't really have to figure out how it is she knows that High Lord Salmon is in fact not a fish.
How does she know it's specifically Bilal? Like, it's a Forsaken. Like, yeah, I get how she could figure that out.
I said that 10 years ago. We did not have an answer. We did not talk about it. And I still want to know. Also, she knows it's Bilal before then asking Loyal to tell her everything he knows about Bilal because she knows next to nothing about him. How is she identifying which fucking Forsaken is in which city?
DNA test.
Ah.
She has to blow every Forsaken.
Where do you go all day? Nowhere.
I guess, or steal a hairbrush.
It's none of your business.
Know. Those are the two options I came up with.
Just go back to that blacksmith and start forging power out horseshoes.
The question of like how the fuck would she know their DNA doesn't matter. The question is how did she get their DNA? Blow them.
Or hairbrush.
It's not going to give a name. A DNA test is not going to give a name at all. Yes, it will.
Or she invites them all to lunch, buys them a Coke, and then when they leave, she gets the Coke can out of the trash, puts it in a plastic bag. You ever seen that before in a movie or a TV show?
Yeah, multiple times.
Oh,
really? I just saw it in the last episode of The Wheel of Time. Moraine literally did that.
And she didn't touch the can. Smart. She put a pencil through
This
the
is
lid.
the beginning of our new surprise segment, everybody. We've already seen the show.
It's called Wheel of Time SVU. I don't know why. I don't know why I chose Sexual Victims Unit, but here we go.
Well, you were talking about her blowing everybody.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe it's against their will. She slips a Viagra into that Coke.
Maybe she's just using that listening trick.
Hey, for our viewers that don't live in the Atlanta area,
and
Coke is a Coca-Cola.
Bilal and Samael every night are in the mirror just like, can't believe everybody believed I was Lord Salmon. I'm actually Bilal. She was like listening with the gem. She's like, nailed him.
Yeah, she's just using that stretchy ear spell from Harry Potter.
Oh my God, it is a ripoff of Harry Potter. It's unbelievable. We need to move on to chapter 51.
There's more here, god damn it.
Then run through it at the speed of light.
So we find out that the plan is that Bilal wants to take Kalendor from Rand, which, by the way, actually a very, very smart plan.
It is a smart plan. Not as smart as a skin glove of Rand's hand, but fair enough.
Yeah, should have captured him earlier, cut his arm off.
I do love that. Like, I didn't cut off enough of his arm, so just fucking like can't quite get there. Stop like an inch short of grabbing the blade.
He's holding the stump, reaches for the blade, hits the invisible barrier, his fingers splay open, the stump drops down to the ground. The arm's just
like,
there inside the shield. Like, now what do we do?
What was I thinking? Backfiring the body before using the arm.
Gotta go back and get. Well, can't
go get more body. No more arm. Stuff there. Anyway, so also she mentions that
Loyal is like, I want to leave, and she's like, you can go, and he's like, I can? Yeah, go right now. Well, in that case, I'll stay. I'm like, what? Loyal, what the fuck's going on?
She does very kindly just be like, I don't want to hear you bitching anymore.
Yeah, like I'm
stay
over.
Or go.
Like, stop. Yeah. And then Zarene's like, can I go? And she's like, no. I need you to spring a trap for me later. I mean, I don't know anything about that.
So
you're what's called collateral damage.
It works. She wants to balefire Bilal, which is a very good idea. And
it's pretty cool that she like flat out actually tells them her plan here.
It's not a bad plan. Literally the only weapon.
It's weird that she's telling them.
They're part of the team. It was a bad
plan.
They're all the way in.
It's still weird that she's telling him.
But she tells him later on to get the fuck out of here. Like again, why would you not? Like, we'll get to it in the next chapter. It's the next chapter when she says it. Anyway, so yes, that's plan.
Incredible. Well, everyone's just like, do we run again? She's like, no, this time we fight. And it's super badass.
It is awesome.
As Tom said, there's Aiel and Tyr.
Lance said, not Tom.
He said, I saw there's, no, I'm talking about from Tom's recap, Jono. Lance says, I saw 3, so there's got to be way more. And then he's like, I was like, so there's probably a few hundred? What does that mean? When Lance says 3, and he means way more, and he says way more. Like, what does he mean by that? 40, 50? What do you think?
1,000.
It's so amazing.
I think it's
Well,
about
if I saw
300.
3, then there's probably 1,000.
I think it's about 300. It's just like a couple like hand-picked
Oh
people.
yeah, that's true. But
That's all you need. 300 Snake Eyes is. That's
Is
all.
it? That is technically 300.
I was just reading one of my notes and I was so confused. I was like, what? And then I was like, I went back a little bit and because it was beats loose Theron at checkers. And I was like, what? And then I was like,
I thought you were going to say Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, I did too.
It was Loyal talking about who Bilal was. And I was like, and how Bilal beat him at Stones. It was like really proud about it.
Once.
I was like, beat loose Theron at checkers.
Fucking nailed
What does
him.
that mean, Joe?
That one time.
Can you imagine that though? Like, I guess who we're following? The guy who beat Luce Theron at checkers. Holy shit. What the fuck resume is this? Absolutely not.
You know what I'm shocked about? Like, Perrin literally says an Aiel man that I met told me that when the Stone of Tyr falls, then the Aiel will leave the Threefold Land. And she's like, well, that's weird because the Aiel are not mentioned in any of the blah, 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 blah. But you don't know who the people of the dragon are. So, like, when there's like a mystery people of the dragon to answer, and then there's another giant clue that falls in your lap that's like, these people just told me that never talk to anyone but peddlers are going to leave their giant desert strongholds and come across to, like, when the Stone of Tyr falls. You don't go, huh, perhaps
Can I ask a question?
those are connected, like corn chowder and money, if you know what I mean.
Can I ask you one question? Is it also not true that she already knows that his parent or his father is in fact Aiel and his mother was raised there? So it seems eminently likely that they'd be open to supporting him.
Also, she knows what an Aiel man looks like, and she knows what Rand looks like. It's like it's right there.
Interesting. No, I don't get it.
And she knows that it's not like she doesn't know that Rand's the dragon and she hasn't put the pieces together. Like, literally all the pieces are right there for the reader to pick up on, and you're like, Moraine's not smart enough to put these together.
What
Anyway,
about
that's my only part with that. I was like, what?
Everyone in the Borderlands is just like, you look exactly like an Isle. And then he's been spending all of his time traveling with Land, who's from the Borderlands, and he's just like, I don't really know what's going on with this guy. He's tall.
Tall, red hair, looks just like an Aiel man. Not one though.
Something.
I know that for sure.
I can't put my finger on it.
Because I
do know that he was
everyone is
in the Aiel War on Dragonmouth, though. Huh.
But unrelated, found Rand in a place of middling height, dark haired, dark eyed people. So that's it.
Anyway. I just so this chapter ends with, first I'm going to eat, then I'm going to look at a hammer. Think about a hammer.
Oh, and think about what he thinks about fail. So obviously he's going to stroke the hat.
He's going to ponder what it is
Tickle the
fail means to him.
head?
So he needs to hold the head of the hammer in his hand till it gets nice and warm.
That's
I imagine he would just try to like massage the wooden shaft of the hammer until like it feels right in his hands, you know?
We just really need to move on to the next.
Yep,
chapter.
next.
You're getting really messed up.
Chapter 51.
Clearly, I need to get drunker because otherwise I'd be like, you're right.
I was like, why is John not jumping?
Tell me more about it while I jerk off.
Bait for the net. It's an Nynaeve chapter. Sorry, Tom.
Tom, the theme for this chapter is go away, bait.
Anyway, I wrote Leandrin autocorrects to laundromat. Just for your information. Leandrin and the Black Sisters capture the Wonder Girls. 13 mirror draw. This was also scary.
This was scary.
Can I interrupt quickly?
Yeah.
Leandrin is a little... So autocorrecting to
What?
laundry makes sense.
She's... What are you talking about?
Delete that.
He's just getting really racist.
Yeah.
Leandrin autocorrects.
How many rings of Austin Powers' phone is going to happen right here? Anyway, she thinks she sees Rand, which we already kind of mentioned. Meat prices are really high. Clogs are annoying. Why can't I be more patient with Egwene? And then she runs into Julian Sandar.
It's a weird. Again, I know that book 3, Jordan wasn't certain what he was going to do. We could have made this question. We probably have a dozen times already, but like the Taviran effect is like just rampant throughout this book, you know. But also, like the Forsaken just intentionally not shielding their dreams, which supposedly just has such massive effects on like the populace, just seems unnecessary. And anyway,
I think Tom said a really interesting thing 10 years ago that I liked a lot.
Well, I can't.
And it was.
I'm drunk.
I'm super hammered right now. No, it was. Like
I'm gonna get used to that.
Maybe Bilal's not shielding his dreams, so he can like be like, so his dreams are unlocked, so to speak, so he can tell when Rand is close. Because Rand isn't shielding his dreams, and he's like letting Rand's dreams invade his dreams.
And
I was like, I like that. It's plausible.
But at the same time,
he might not have that talent or ability.
Also, I mean, like isn't it almost the exact opposite? Where like
if Rand is dreaming and projecting his dreams onto normal people the same way that like Bilal is, and the only way to stop that from happening would be to shield your dreams. The reason Bilal's dreams are like unleashed on the city is because he's not shielding his dreams, so he'll start dreaming about Rand as he gets closer.
There has to be more
that
to
way
it.
He knows
it's not like Bilal's not going to sleep every night and just having a regular dream about going to see Kalendor. He's in the world of dreams. He's obviously doing something on purpose here.
It doesn't
explain Samuel or Robin.
It doesn't make
we'll get
sense
to them later.
at all. It doesn't make sense.
Well, they were both doing
really.
the same thing though. Like their dreams were fucking up their cities that they were into.
I get that they have the ability
Bilal's
to amplify.
broadcasting us on purpose to draw Rand in.
But I liked
same
what
thing,
Tom
though.
was 10 years ago. I like Tom's idea that, but I would think that if I were Bilal, I would mute my dreams, shield them, and then have people out there to pick up on rumors. Because as soon as you hear the first time about like some redhead grabbing a sword, you're either going to arrest a fucking prostitute or you're going to find Rand. Because like that's kind of like otherwise people dreaming about glowing swords, that's already supposed to happen because you're already dreaming about that. The redhead's the new piece of information, and maybe people aren't very. Anyway, it just seems a little too on the nose.
I'm pretty sure when he wrote the book, there was no shielding of dreams.
They already mentioned that you can do it.
No,
Moraine literally says he's not shielding his dreams.
Nah, they definitely didn't do that. Yeah, then he's obviously doing it on purpose, like the why of it.
We'll never know because he's burned out of the fucking back.
No, he's the only one that died and stayed dead.
Yeah,
he's not the only one. Raven does too. Raven does too later.
Sometimes.
But he's
you said Raven and
one.
Raven.
Raven, yeah.
Raven. I like Robin.
I say Robin.
Yeah,
I always like Robin more. Yeah,
well,
Robin just sounds much more scary.
Yeah. Raven's a little goth superhero.
Sure. I mean, we know how to pronounce these names. It's Elaine, Robin, Niniave.
Yeah. Edgeween.
No.
Aguayne.
Lan is correct.
Aguayne. Rip off a better.
I'm never gonna say Fael.
Aguayne is a mud blood. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, everybody knows that. And also, make sure you edit that out. That's a racial slur.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Here's an interesting thing. Nynaeve
know it was.
And Egwene and Elaine.
Oh my god!
Slugs for the next couple hours.
Jono's sure acting like a mudblood. God damn!
Jesus, that's raucous as shit. I know. Julian Sandar comes up to
Nynaeve
like
a cat, then it's probably a dog.
Julian Sandar comes up to Nynaeve and is like acting super sketchy as fuck, and is like, "Hey, come with me right now. I found him." you need to come with me. And she's like, how did her like instantaneous like defenses not like start firing off, going like, this is suspicious as fuck?
When I read that, that's what I thought immediately when I read it, and then I realized, like, because she's trying to puzzle out like why he's freaked out, and then she draws the wrong conclusion.
Well, he gives a decent answer.
She should have run immediately.
He gives a decent answer, saying like,
I'm just gonna use the bathroom and I'll be right back.
I gotta go pee. No, but like he says, like they are guests of a high lord.
So he's freaking out.
Yeah,
that's a like in tier as a serf, which is what he is, or like maybe just a little bit of like he's a peasant. Like he's a little bit of.
Damn.
They have serfs there, so I mean, like he's not bottom of the fucking barrel, but like it's a legitimate question of like, why the fuck are we looking into the nobles? Like, you did not tell me that. Like, what have you done? This is I mean, like, there's only a few high lords. It's pretty much the king's council is what you're asking, because there is no king. Like,
and as Alcuin says later on, like
Guena,
like the high lords are like shit. The high lords are scary as fuck. Basically, she's like, if I say anything, like they'll cut my tongue out. That'll just be the first.
Yeah,
and then whatever's left of me will just be hung in the streets to like.
He stops her from worrying about it basically by making her defensive. Just like, whoa, you didn't tell me this. Instead of like being worried, she's just like, no, I can explain. Hold on. Let's
no. Let me jerk you off.
That's what always happens. That's
So anyway, Nynaeve walks into a trap.
Tom loves that idea. I'm gonna jerk off boob whole son.
Nynaeve walks into a trap, and I love the first thing she says is like, "Burn you, Sandar," and then she just punches Leandra straight in the face, and I fucking
her punch is fuck yeah.
She hits them both. I don't understand why the shield didn't drop.
Because there were more than like 2 or 3. Also, because they have this thing called concentration. It's like their first time being a fucking Aes Sedai. They're supposed to
they don't get physically assaulted often.
Yeah, but they did get physically assaulted, and that was shocking to them. And they were in shock from it.
Did you not read what happened for the accepted test? You have to be able to fucking weave 99 weaves, which is the dumbest thing ever.
That's really true.
I'm really annoyed. I'm really annoyed. This is a really good point, and you're making sense, and I don't want any.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of pissed off you're making sense right now, John.
Yeah, all right, fine. You're right.
Yeah, no, I did it, but I guess that's true, which it is.
So I love the dumb. It's such a perfect, like this is what you do in a book. They spare Mother Gwena's life, despite telling her right in front of them, clearly, we're Black Ajah, High Lord Samadin,
yes,
Dark Friend.
Blatantly say that.
But we'll let you live.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? You guys have a penchant for death.
Is Leandrin still setting a trap here?
No.
By leaving her alive?
Leandrin's of the opinion that like you should not kill quite everyone. There's always tools to be used.
I do love that Rihanna is just like, well, we don't need her anymore. Let me stop her heart. And like the way she says it so matter-of-factly, I was just like, this is fantastic. This is kind of the first scene where you get like a little bit more of the personalities of some of the other Black Ajah, because like all we've seen so far is Leandrin, really. So like we like know little tidbits of information, but we don't know what parts of that information is a lie yet. And like, but it was kind of cool to actually see some of them like doing shit, not just Leandrin. So I was like, and then that was one of the first things out of her mouth, and I was just like, I like this one. She's fucked up.
Yeah, I mean they're fucking dark as shit. Like I think that who was it who was going to stop her heart?
Rihanna.
Was it Rihanna who's like one of the best healers ever?
Yeah, I think that's why she knows how to stop hearts.
Yeah, I can heal them.
What? I can heal them. I can certainly stop them from living.
Your call.
Anyway, it's kind of hilarious that she strong arms them and gets out, and it almost works. And you're like, oh, God, I wanted you to get out of there so badly.
Yeah.
Like, because you just want that same, like, as a reader, you're like, well, one, they've been kidnapped like 3 times in this book, for fuck's sake. But like, in the last couple of books, yeah. In the last book, when they come out of the gateway and like Nynaeve's like, fuck you, and lightning bolts start coming down and she escapes,
Yeah.
And Egwene gets captured.
Same person, too. To your point, it's Leander, and again, he does it.
Yeah. But it's you want that same satisfaction, though. You want, like, Nynaeve to get away, or, like, one of them to get away. So, like, they have, like, a hope of, like, getting out of this. But they just, man, they beat the crap out of her.
To your point, she's captured, goes into the next room, and there is Egwene, unconscious as fuck, and Elaine, who's, you know, blackened and bloodied. So it's just, you're kind of like, oh, fuck, here we go.
So Nynaeve is struggling with her temper, and she doesn't understand why Egwene's getting under her skin so much recently. And she's sort of trying to mentally move past that in this beginning part of this chapter. Do you think seeing Egwene, like, beaten the shit out of right now is, like, what kind of turns that off for her?
No, I think it's a combination of the two of them. One, obviously, there's the Jono joke got to be about their cycles. But two, I think there's the fact that, like, realistically, she realizes the fact that part of her issue is her own internal obstinance. She being Nynaeve.
Yeah. But do you think seeing, like, Egwene beaten down on the ground like that, it makes her go like, oh my God, I've been an asshole. And if she lives through this, like, and I live through this, like, I'm going to stop being an asshole to her, you know, kind of thing.
I mean, maybe, but I think that it was, even if she had not seen Egwene on the ground, I think she still would have. I think there's enough kind of going on that they would.
Sure. Yeah, she would have. I'm sure they would have. But, like, yeah, I just feel like this might have expedited that. Like, the way she's like, if she's hurt and then she's like said that out loud and then she's like, why did I even say that? They've already hurt her. Like, I'm just avoiding saying the thing that I'm scared about. And then she goes, if you've killed her, I will fucking hunt you down. And I was like, whoo.
Here we fucking go.
Yeah.
I would wish she died early. I would love a fucking vengeance Nynaeve going out.
Yeah, just like a you know, taken with Nynaeve, you know, instead of Liam Neeson. You know, I was
gonna say Nynaeve Wick.
That works too. Wait, what was the Denzel Washington one with the little girl?
Oh, that's John Nynaeve.
Nynaeve Wick is how you would say that, John.
That is an incredible movie that I can't remember the name of now.
Anyway, it should have been The Punisher, but it wasn't. You know that one?
Never mind. Fuck it. I had a dumb joke.
So Leandra does reveal that she compulsed Light, Jewel, and Sandar, so it wasn't really his fault. Which I did enjoy that because, like, as a reader, you're like, "You son of a bitch!" And then
and that allows that gives Sandar that amazing kind of, like, you know, he's brought back kind of, and he's gonna be gnarled knuckles and everyone. Well, not gnarled, but bamboo. Either way, he's gonna be fucking a queen soon enough, or a Ponarch.
Anyway, Nynaeve and Elaine try to, like, bluff that they have other people there helping them or something.
I love it.
It almost would work, except they're like, well, it doesn't fucking matter if you do or not, because you're going to tell us everything, because we got 13 Androl on the way here. Sorry.
They also always overdo it.
Yeah. Yeah, like the second reveal was...
Because if you tell them that, then they'll find out this and this, and like, no, now you're telling them too much. You stop it. I'm like, you really you should have just let them.
You really played that hand way too hard. Leave the game like the match.
It's just like what happens in Home Alone 2 when they get captured. Tell them where the wet band or the sticky band is at this point.
Yeah.
Shut up, boss. We just got out of prison too. We're gonna steal all the stuff from the kids. Shut up, Bob. Like, that's exactly what's going on here.
So basically, she says, "You'll want to help us," and then they both start screaming. And when I read that, I literally thought me and Lauren just went to, like, a random luxurious hotel room for no reason for her birthday, and then, well, not for no reason for her birthday, but we're watching just boring hotel television in the middle of the day after we got drunk the night before, and Seinfeld was on, and it was the one where Jerry gets Kramer's blood and starts screaming, and then Kramer starts screaming, and they're both like, "Oh!" And I was laughing about that so hard because I was like, "That's exactly what happens in this chapter." Then I listened to the podcast from 10 years ago. Tom said the same thing. And I was like, holy fuck. It wasn't because like I thought of it 10 years ago or anything. It was just like that was in my brain because I just watched that episode. And then literally 10 years later, apparently, or 10 years ago, Tom was doing the same thing. Just had watched that episode.
So we're evolving.
Can you imagine some peasant on the street just walking past a carriage, just of screaming women passes by? Oh, I learned salmon, getting some.
It's kind of terrifying because you read it and like as you're reading it, you recognize it immediately when she's like 13, Androl coming, and then you get like two paragraphs of the eighth, like thinking about other stuff, and I'm like, "What's wrong with you?" And then all of a sudden she realizes, and then they start screaming. Like, I can't tell if it makes it better or worse as a reader. Like if Leandra would have said it and then they would have started screaming at it, I'd been like, oh, this is fucked up. Or if like I'm just like,
the slow realization of what it means, I think makes it feel worse.
So you know what it wasn't? It wasn't Kramer walking into her mind like, ah! It was a very slow version of it.
You got 13 pints of Kramer in you, buddy.
Had to watch the shit out of that again. Are we ready for chapter 52?
I am in search of a remedy, and it's a Matt chapter.
I mean, the recap's pretty sad. It just says Matt takes Tom to the doctor and finds out the girls are captives in the stone.
Matt takes Tom to the doctor.
I guess. All right, I guess it's better than I thought. I think I was writing it down. I was like,
why is that so funny?
I don't know. That's
stupid. It's just like it's so obvious that that's what it is. But at the same time, you're just like, Matt takes an old man to the doctor. Mm-hmm. It just belittles the fuck out of it.
That's what happens.
I know, but it's just like it makes it so stupid.
I mean,
it's really dumb when you say
the doctor, and guess what?
Robert Jordan would read that review and just be like,
"Guess what she told me?
Don't understand me at all." There's so much more to it than that.
I was quoting this. I was about to quote a song that we can't afford.
Go for it.
Oh, I just said that Matt took Tom to the doctor, and guess what she told him? Guess what she told him? And then nobody noticed. Anyway, she said, "Boy, you better try to have fun no matter what you do." All right. Anyway, so.
Well, you're not singing it, Tom. So I think it's fine.
There's really not much. Like even my own dumb notes are like there's only like 7 or 8 lines. It's the only thing that's interesting here is so she again obviously Tom. He takes Tom. Also, kind of weird that the remedy is drink some tea and rub some shit on your chest. It seems a little...
Vapor rub, Jono, it works.
Yeah.
Vicks tea, Vicks vapor rub. And they talk about the girls, which are in danger, but don't worry, Aes Sedai came for them. Aes Sedai are all... none of them should be there. By definition, channeling is outlawed and like that kind of thing.
Well, they're allowed there. They're just not allowed to channel.
They're allowed, but they pretty much like register at the door. It's like 1938, Jewish almost. Not white, going to kill them, but it's certainly not good. Just blank that whole thing out.
I don't know about it. I'm not sure about it. I like the part
me and Tom's faces. I mean, I know our viewers can see us, but like me and Tom's faces are like, holy shit.
I like the part where Matt has a rage blackout.
I said,
true.
It's that. So is that an evolving pattern? But it never really happens again. But like this is the first time. This isn't the first time. This is the second time. The first time was when I mentioned earlier when he's just like, "Never call me the Dark One's on lock," and he's like, and you're like, "What? I didn't say anything. No one said dark, friend, bro. Calm down." You know, that kind of thing. Like. And because he literally starts strangling a guy and he goes like, I didn't even realize I had my hands around his throat and I was doing it. And I was like,
he does have a lot of rage blackouts.
This is the second one in a book.
He's Summer from the OC. If it's Matt from like 4 books from now, does he walk by that place and the lightning strikes and he's like, we're walking it there? Because he has more understanding of his life powers. Maybe he's got the
summer flu.
Or does it? I guess we're done. It's just OC jokes for the rest of this chapter. And honestly, not a lot happens.
Maybe
anyway.
Tom should take some antibiotics.
Not in this place.
I mean, honestly, I'm fine to finish the chapter, I think.
I'm still going, god damn it. They have a weird thing where she marmalades cough medicine down Tom's throat, and then
I want in 5 to 10 years that to be something that's in the Oxford Dictionary, that like marmalading something is the same as jamming.
The best part is when Matt finds out that High Lord Salmon's going to have a press conference down by the pier.
Press conference?
yeah,
Press conference?
press conference.
Press conference?
Press
Anyway, he's like, "Hey, you sound like the Marilyn," and she's like, "Yeah, you sound like these 3 girls I know." What 3 girls? She can literally. Granted, they're talking about accents and where he comes from specifically, so it's not that much of a leap. But like, he's just the way he's just immediately like, "What 3 girls?" Was one of them? Were 2 of them really normal looking, and one of them super beautiful with blonde hair?
You just go to the doctor with an old man. He's like, and the doctor is just like, I saw 3 hot girls earlier. I'm like, what? Where do the high school girls hang out around here?
She goes, "Wait here while I call the guard."
Side note: can I leave this old man with you?
Yeah.
I've got shit to do.
Yeah. I'm about to go party. I don't know if you do this, but I've got a lot of fireworks.
Kids love fireworks.
And I get lucky a lot.
I'm gonna put him in the park.
If you know
Shoot
what
him
I mean.
up.
This just took a strange turn. Yeah, do you have any of those white paneled vans pulled by horses outside?
Actually, one just left here with women screaming at it.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Oh, that's probably my friend Bill. I know where he's going. Ceiling.
I gotta break into the stone of tear. I'll tell you why they call it tear.
His friend Bill Wall.
It's getting worse. It's getting worse.
Anyway, so Mother Gwenya, basically, Alquin says, those aren't the names they gave me, but those, it's pretty clear that they weren't giving me their true names for their own reasons anyway. And he's like, son of a bitch, I walked right past them.
He really did.
Fucking lightning bolt shaped like 3 arrows was pointed at your building on the first night I got here.
That's weird. 3 lightning bolts clutched by a fist is who took him out.
It's like a Looney Tunes did.
Anyway, so the High Lords thing, this is when, excuse me. This is when she says, no. I'll lose my tongue in other parts, and I promise I won't. He's like, I promise I won't mention your name. And she's like, all right, I'll tell you. I just love that. She's like, you don't understand what will happen. They'll cut my tongue out. That's just the beginning. Then I'll be left for dead hanging in the streets as a fucking show of like, never fucking do this, other peasants. And then he's like, I promise. And she's like, all right, I'll tell you. Well, if you swear.
You can trust me, the most untrustworthy looking person literally on the planet that everyone can see coming from a mile away is a liar.
I do. One of my, so again.
It's the rage blackout. It's
That's true. No, I think it's a little bit of the part after this too, when he's like, oh, well, if they're in the Stone of Tyr, I just got to go get them out of the Stone of Tyr. And she's just like, what the fuck? Like, it's just like, I love how Matt just has this ability to just kind of go like, huh, well, here's the problem. I guess we're just going to have to go solve this problem. That's it.
Like
no ifs, ands, or buts. And every other character in this book series is like, what do we do for like 30 chapters? And he's just like, well, I guess I got to go into the Stone Chair. Unbreakable fortress. No one's ever gotten in.
Joe, can I ask you?
Yeah.
What does your namesake, Joe Pesci, say? I cross my heart and hope to die. And that's it. That's all it takes, right? I mean, he's believed in. No. And then he gets shot in the dick. Isn't that the part where he says, I cross my heart? Gun. And they shoot, and then he shoots him in the gun. Yeah.
I cross my heart and hope to die. BB to the penis.
Yeah, BB gun to the feet. So it's like you said,
Anything else here?
Here.
I do like
What's up?
the part where she's like, "It's Aes Sedai that got them," and he's like, "Oh my god, you have a skinny heart."
Oh, I'm sorry.
Aes Sedai have them. Everything's fine, and she's like, "No, they fought like hell. They hated those people, and they treated them like shit. So they're probably gonna kill them." And she's like,
Beat the absolute fuck out of them. I mean, like,
Yeah. Oh, it was just hazing. No, they killed one of them. Oh,
this is definitely at least one broken orbital bone in the bunch.
Tom's curious that he's being left behind, and then he goes, I've enjoyed knowing you, Tom. And that was like, because even he questions it. He's like, why did I say that? Tom's not gonna die. And then I was like, it's because you're gonna die.
It's because you think you're gonna die. You fucking lunatic. Well, he's always,
because he's about to get some great pussy. And he's
Matt
never
is-
gonna see him again.
Matt is literally in consistent denial.
And then Robert Jordan wrote that he feels the dice tumbling in his head, but what I think he really means is, and everyone interprets that as like some sort of like mental thing that he like feels the dice. But I think if he has a dice bag and it's tumbling against his head, it's not in the place everyone's thinking about.
That's what you got for us?
Chapter 53.
Chapter 53 it is.
Chapter 50. Sorry.
It's called a flow of spit, and that's what you need to get going if you want to blow somebody with a bellows at a...
Is that the title of the chapter?
Yeah.
A flow of spit?
Spirit. I'm sorry, I read that.
I honestly wasn't. I was a little lost.
Perrin chapter, though.
So Phil goes into a coma, and Perrin does too.
What's funny is like we talked about how much we really kind of enjoyed this section of like A's kind of mounting tension, that kind of thing, and literally all we've done is obviously Joe's fault, not mine. Bad jokes, bad jokes, but also the quickest synopses ever. Like there is literally nothing.
That's Tom's job. The quickest synopsis ever. That's why we do it. That's why.
But Tom's not wrong. Like that's what I'm saying though. Is like as opposed to like I've got 30 notes. I have the shortest amount of notes for 4 chapters that I've ever had here.
I mean, I have
got more notes.
I have a few things.
We have stuff to talk about. We just like to tell what the chapter is about as a whole.
I love how
the top end of things. Jono,
what is the deal with Joe's
Do you not understand our system?
Tell me more.
Anyway, Perrin's working at the forge still. He made something pretty, and he still can't make up his mind about Fail.
Do you think he's walking with an erection here?
Think he's walking with an erection?
No,
or
like a
walking
semi.
with a clit
Like a
erection?
semi.
First off, let's go back to Tom's second point.
Yes. 100%. What do you think he's doing over there on that barrel the whole time he's working for like 8 hours?
She's like, this one's filled with olive oil. Guess what I've been using? Natural lubricant, olive oil.
How many times does she excuse herself? Like, I would say if
4 or 5.
If Perrin's working 8 hours at the forge,
8-hour shift, four times.
at some point he's got to be like, man, she leaves to go to the bathroom.
Now. It's just so soft. Just keeps dunking it in the olive oil.
Oh my god!
Quenching. It's called quenching, Jono. And then Perrin fumbles with his hammer.
Yeah, I gotta check my tang on this. What does that mean?
the blacksmith guy.
You should never write a blacksmith porn.
Is that stack that we got? Was there blacksmith porn, Joe?
I gotta check my tang on this.
No. You know what we did talk about? We talked about, are we going to see this blacksmith again? And Jono knew his name, which is mind-blowing.
I've got the notes.
Well, you have it written down. That's not the same. But
it's not. It's like it's something with an H.
But Jono goes, yeah, I'd absolutely love to see him in the last battle. And then we just went into a whole bit about him being a hammer brother and just throwing hammers at Alex. But standing on a floating brick platform, and he can only throw them in an arc, so he just waits for the midroll to come to him. Anyway, it's really fun.
Wait, if Fail gets like a hot wet vagina and then quenches it in the barrel, doesn't that stiffen it up?
That tempers it.
Well, so it depends what she uses, right? So olive oil.
Let's get into it now.
olive oil would be technically the softest, which is probably the best for the penis because you want it to be able to soften. But it's there for like being able to resharpen edges, that kind of thing.
Oh, so she's got blade labia.
Labia.
Damn it! Did we all wanted to say that, right? Anyway,
well, I didn't want to say it. I was setting
focus
it up,
back up.
Roger that. Let me try with another joke.
Anyway, she says, "You will fall yet, farm boy." So clearly, she's in love with him already, right? Because she's toying with him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. This is obvious. I mean, just making sure it's obvious, right? It's obvious.
Either that or
I wrote, just like, Rand is in tear, and then he's like, "Are you sure? There's no wells drying up or crazy weddings." And I'm there like, it's just one of those things where you're just like, parent, dude, like they know what they're fucking doing, dude. You've been in a forge for 8 hours just to think about one girl.
Can you imagine? Are you
like
sure?
Lan and Moraine know what they're doing.
Are you
Stop questioning them?
Shut the fuck up.
It's like the 10th time he's asked them this in this whole tourney. Well, how do you know Rand's here? I need to ask these people about the Dragon Reborn.
Hey, Joe,
Aaron, stop opening your mouth.
You guys are both like Tom's point is, first off, are you sure? Never fucking. How fucking anything I'm sure about is where the goddamn Dragon Reborn is. But to Joe's point, like there was that one time where they just had like 8 weddings in a row, and they're like, "Yeah, it's the weirdest fucking time, right?" Parents like, "Yeah, have you seen my redheaded friend who's like 7 feet tall?"
Yeah, hey, by the way, did a redhead farm boy come through here with a sword?
It's amazing. It's amazing that someone says, "Hey, here's how you look for this thing," and you're like, "Okay, I got it." And then that person that taught you that comes back later and goes, "Oh, this thing is here." And you're like, "Are you sure?" I've been looking around for the things that you taught me.
Are you positive?
They told you how to, whatever.
But there's also like this other thing that like, it's not just weddings and like a fucking well drying up, right? Like there's a lot of other fucking signs.
Also, he blatantly says, Lan goes, actually, there has been a lot of weddings. There's been more weddings in like the last X amount of time than all of last year. And then he's like, there's been more murders too. And a kid fell off the building. Also, why would you know any of this? Because you spent the last 8 hours for the last 3 days pounding fucking metal in a fucking forge.
Also,
I have information that you don't have. Is that crazy?
I love that Lan has 10 examples. Like when he gets to 3, he's like, well, that's not quite enough. Let's get 7 more.
Well, how many more do you have?
Are you sure Land's here? Are you sure Rand's here? Yes.
Oh, kid fell off a cliff, landed on the ground, not hurt, ran to her mother. No big deal.
Rand,
Rand's here.
I found 2 legitimate miracles so far. Well, keep looking.
Were they too legit to quit?
Let's be positive. Are you doing another McHammer reference?
He does mention the first of my inn is there and kind of captive in tier, which is only important that it sets up for the next book when she's around a lot.
Do you think this is a legitimate question, in the TV show when he delivers the line like, and the first of Maine was here and she said she was never going to give them votes, but all of a sudden she decided she would. Do you think when he's delivering those lines, he's going to be like,
for the listeners, what are you doing?
For the viewers,
everyone saw that.
For the viewers, everyone saw it.
But for the listeners, viewers saw it.
For the viewers, there's only viewers, Jono.
We can't.
For the viewers, though, everyone, Tom emphasized a heavy bosom with his.
I can't. I'm not going to explain everything I do for somebody that might be listening in the other room while this is on TV.
I know it's weird, Jono.
Yeah.
We're an audio podcast.
We don't have time.
See everything.
Do you know what floor she stays on later on at the Stone of Tier? Room 13.
Floor 13 of room 13?
The worst part is, Tom, what shirt
I like how, so Lance says all of these reasons, and then Karen is still like, no, I don't buy it. And then he's like, okay, well, did you dream about Rand last night? Moraine says, and he's like, fuck yeah, I did.
What if she asked him?
What
if she asked him that and he described like a very vivid sex dream? had
To be fair, I
nothing,
did. He slowly
nothing to do with
unlaced my
Kalendor.
pants. And then when I looked down, it was a hammer. Suddenly Zareen was there. A 3-way.
And I was using his hammer dick to pound her pussy. And I don't even know what that's about. But anyway,
Sparks
so
were
yeah,
flying
And then Zareen's
I did have that
I had the
dream.
same dream.
Except it was my asshole.
And then Moraine's like, and so did everyone else in the city. Congratulations, you're also Taviran.
That's why the blacksmith been looking at him sideways, and everybody's like, "Do I want to grab this hammer?" And he's like,
Everyone's dreaming it.
"What does that look like?" Can you imagine if they were just all like, then Perrin was like grabbing this hammer and he was like just like fitting it in their pussy, and like later on in real life, just like watching him like, good Lord, that's the hammer he's gonna do it. Not good.
I saw this in my dream last night. I know what's happening.
Should we stop him? He's gonna really abuse that woman.
And then he hands the hammer to him. Well, you should take this. I think you need it.
That's what it is.
I've been dreaming about this for weeks.
Yeah. I saw that dream movie.
He's like, you should go to the kitchen, by the way, and get some butter. You're gonna need a lubrication. What are you talking about? Nothing. Just trust me.
By the way, this is very off topic, but also on topic. This is very
Wait a minute. Are you serious?
This is very Inception-like. I feel like we should be watching buildings fold over and stuff. Like, that's got to be where you got this, right? World of Dreams?
I thought you were talking
Putting
about
thoughts into people's minds?
I think you're thinking of a pensive.
Oh, that's what I was thinking about.
Pull it out.
Head cum.
Pull it
Head
out.
cum in a bowl.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of.
By the way, let's go to Incognito movie. And
Bilal
see
probably
what
took his head cum, put it in the water
head
supply.
Put it in a bowl, swirled it around.
No, he put it in the water
Take a
supply.
look at this. Ducked Rand's face into it.
Yeah.
Suddenly Rand's in his dreams.
face and cum bowl porn videos. The person that shows up.
Oh, God. Why did you look that up? That's bad.
Well, I looked up head cum in a bowl.
Your blow up.
Actually-
Look at that. Your internet history tomorrow and be like, what the fuck?
I'm actually on my work
Is this
computer right
what
now.
he's into?
Hold on, I'll look it up. I'm on my work computer.
Anyway, Moraine's basically like, well, Perrin goes, what about Bilal? And he's like, we're going to deal with him tonight. And then she goes, you guys are going to Tarvalon.
Why? She literally said something earlier in this fucking book that said, I'd forgotten how strong of Tavira you guys were because of Rand.
It's the safest place you can think of.
If
I think
Rand
she's
dies
just
tonight,
planning on them not surviving. Like, she's got to,
if she does
it's
not
the obvious
survive,
move. She
it's all
only
over.
has Suwan on her side. So, like,
It's the
there's no
dumbest
other
thing in
place
the-
to send them that's safe. quote unquote.
Hold on. Look, like, think about it. If she doesn't survive tonight, that means her plan fucking failed. Like, you don't fucking balefire someone else and then die. Literally, balefire helps you fucking live in this case.
Yeah, which means there's a really strong possibility that her plan will fail.
Yeah, but if her plan fails, Rand's dead too, which means, guess what? The whole fucking thing's done. So what could she... She
Moraine,
could use a fucking Taviran to help her steer this go better lucky. She literally has talked about how
Yeah, she should literally have him next to her at all times. Jono, I agree with you completely. I'm just justifying what she was thinking, which is stupid. She also
obviously
didn't put together the people of the dragon on the Aiel, and all the clues are right.
women's logic.
yeah, so
Moraine's
on like
fucking
so Perrin to Moraine like human centipede. Let's go balefire below.
Humans, be up my ass. Be up my ass. Higher. I need all the luck I can get.
Oh man, that's interesting.
It does beg the question, like, what would the plan be? Does she think, because it's not like Matt and Perrin and Rand are equal legs on a three-legged stool.
Maybe she's thinking the same thing we're thinking, but by sending him away, she's keeping that Taviran safe, and therefore might affect the outcome in the same way that we're talking about.
If things go sideways and Rand managed to survive, but her bringing Perrin and
Perrin died,
killed, then
that
things
would
would
fuck
also,
everything.
yeah, right, that makes sense.
I don't agree at all. I think that if you're gonna do anything, you're gonna stack your fucking odds to have have a Taviran there to help you.
Have two bending people with you makes a lot of sense. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm just saying what she's doing is sort of logical if like she's betting on keeping him safe is more important than having him near.
She's not going all in. She's hedging her bets, Jono.
Yeah,
But if she loses,
would Matt
it's
do
all
that?
in.
Absolutely not.
But she loses. It's all in.
Everything goes all in.
Yeah.
6 million.
She wins, though. Spoiler. She balefires below.
What?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
Just broke my
I said
brain.
that at the start of the episode. Have you guys not read the book?
It's my first time reading the book.
Anyway,
Actually,
Perrin
it's my
bangs his funny bone, and then Fael passes out. And she touches a hedgehog. Yeah.
I don't know why he bangs his funny bone made me really laugh. I guess by definition, it should make me laugh. Funny bone.
I mean, he says that. His arm's tingly.
Is that what that means?
Yeah. He
He's
said
actually
his arm's tingly like he
Mild
banged
stroke.
his elbow. That's what
Maybe
that
he's,
is.
maybe he's having a heart attack.
Yeah, mild stroke, something like that.
Wouldn't that be the more interesting end of this chapter? When he jumps in there, he's not entering the world of dreams. He's just finishing his heart attack. Collapses on the ground.
They're
And
shoving fucking baby aspirin down his throat.
Every tier EMT that shows up to help him also collapses to the ground.
Yeah.
They're all just trapped in the world dream.
Those people need our help. There's 3 people in there that need our help.
I have one serious question about this.
Why can't you toss like a rope and try to grab her and pull her forward?
Yeah, or why didn't Moraine lift her with flows of air and carry
Seriously,
her out of the
have you played that dirt fair game where you throw a lasso around something? It's like trying to get one of those little rings around the top of a bottle.
I wish to God Perrin would have asked someone to do that, and that would have been their response.
They
Like,
tried
Seriously,
all
have you played that dirt fair game?
8 hours straight of throwing a rope in. I almost got her foot. Pull it back.
All I can think about is the claw.
They keep overextending it every once in a while. Their hands get numb. They have to wait a little while to try again.
Do it.
Almost. Oh, we almost got it.
Son of a bitch. There's just not enough room in this hallway. Let's chop the wall down behind us. Oh, that's good. Running start.
That's actually a good idea too. If you just go to the floor underneath, he's got a hammer and an axe. Like,
Just knock her down.
yeah.
Well,
smash the-
There's
Smash
nothing
the
to say
floor
that
out and she
that
falls through.
hedgehog isn't a 3-dimensional object.
and you got a
like a
bow and
sphere.
arrow and shoot
It's
the
not
hedgehog.
like-
Shoot the hedgehog.
It's not just a
with bow and arrow.
diameter.
All right, here's the point. There's a lot of solutions other than I'm just going to jump into the room.
Actually, the mere fact that he put his arm in and felt it means it's a 3-dimensional sphere of area.
But dude, like, what's going on the floor below it? There's just like 8 people past.
How big is the sphere?
people serving women just keep walking into the basement to get wine and just breaking bottles and falling over.
They really should have.
Here's the one I need.
Woody and Buzz with the claw to just go.
What happened
get
to
the
the
fuck out of
serving
there.
girl? She was supposed to be back up here with 3 bottles of wine like 5 hours ago. All right, I'll go
Here
check
get some more. Just 30 unconscious women in the fucking basement.
the whole staff and the whole entire inn. I do like when Moraine interrogates the innkeeper, like, I told you not to let anyone fucking in this room ever unless I was here. Even a serving woman to clean it. And he's like, they just wanted to give you a surprise.
I
Like,
love
you're
that they
just like,
bring
"A
him up."
surprise?"
I love that they bring it up and show it to him like he's a dog that took a shit on the rug.
They should have thrown him in too.
What did you do? Look at this. Bad boy.
Put his nose in it.
Bad boy.
Then their arms get numb, but he's passed out. Serves him right.
We can't chastise him anymore. He's unconscious.
I love Tom's fucking bad boy just rubbing him into fucking, like, guess whose face is just barely getting that spear? Just barely. Bad
I
boy.
do like how is it Lan or Moraine that's just like, oh, maybe Bilal thinks I'm in the trap.
It's more in it.
They're kind of both like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
they're both sad.
one of them says it, and the other one's just like, "Fuck yeah,
Yeah,
in fairness,
you're
they're
right.
not wrong.
this is really gonna work out for us."
They're not. The odds are stacked against them. It's a Forsaken. Like,
Yeah.
take
They're
every
not
advantage you got. Who the fuck is this chick to Moraine? She's been pissing her off for chapters on end.
I know your new girlfriend died, but silver lining.
Silver lining. We might kill a Forsaken tonight.
Plus, it's not like you fucked this
Not a
chick.
bad
So, I mean, why care?
And if you do want to fuck her,
Now's
really
your
good
chance.
opportunity.
Well, you can.
God damn.
Sorry, that's something we would have said 10 years ago. We can't say that.
She's literally roofied right now.
Times have changed.
She's floored.
So
Thank you, hangover joke.
So Aaron basically freaks the fuck out, yells at Moraine to demand
That's a good point.
to explain where Zareen is, and she's like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I have no answers for you. She's like, I think it might be connected to the world of dreams. And he's like, is that the same as the wolf dream? Tell me. And she's like, I don't know. You're the wolf, brother.
It would make it a little bit better. It would make it a little bit better if she didn't say last studied by Corinna and Adele. Like the same thing that everyone read. That seemed a little too obvious that, like, yes, we all know what the fuck this is.
Well, well, obviously that's for the reader.
Well, I know, but it just, the reader
It's like
finds
the way
out.
Tom held up bosoms for the first of my yen for the viewers.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to give clues that are obvious.
Blues Clues?
Yeah. Bosom.
Anyway, so Perrin jumps in and he gets into the world of dreams. And he's got the hammer.
Let's not gloss over how awesome Loyal is here.
Oh, fuck. You know what? You're right. I apologize. Go for it.
No, that's all I wanted to say.
Oh, I just, like, you're incredibly, like, right? Like, so Lana Moraine, they're going to go to the fucking stone. Awesome on its own, as we'll see. That fucking bird, also awesome. I'm glad that's but Loyal, this is the angry, implacable Ogier that, like, has been talked about several times. And he just grabs, like, he's just there. Like, no one will get fucking past me. Of course, unless you're dead. But, like, it just seems so fucking just strong as shit. Like he's got his shit together. It's awesome.
I do like Perrin's absolute outrage, and he's going to do whatever it takes to get her back, and followed up by Loyal doing, whatever it's going to take to protect them. Like,
yeah,
they're the dream team. Till Phil fucks it up in the next book for like at least 3 chapters where she's just a super pain in the ass. But they get it back.
Don't put them against each other.
No, but they get it back.
Where does Perrin go?
Yeah, they were on a break. They were on a break for a little bit.
So Perrin fucked that copy shop girl.
But where's Perrin going? Into the dream.
Yeah, Loyal fastball specials Perrin into the room, and he passes out.
Also, why didn't Loyal just toss Perrin in?
Why didn't Perrin just hold Loyal by the ankle and Loyal just reach in with his long ass arm and drag her up?
So they're actually
so they're in the wolf dream. Go ahead.
And it's he's got his hammer for a brief moment, which he then turns to an axe. And Hopper comes. He's just like, you are here way too fucking strongly. He's like, the fucking Falcon's here. And like Hopper looks at him like he's actually turning into a wolf. Like he looks down, sees all the paws and shit like that. And we've made the joke 1,000 times. But literally at this point, Perrin is full wolf, which, like, not even like our own dumb jokes about like having wolf dick. He literally has a wolf dick here.
What do you think? What do you think he looks like halfway through that transformation, though? Fur Caprice, Red Rocket.
Does the dick shrivel but turn red? Like what happens there? It's a great question.
What happens to his pants?
Let's be honest. Perrin's fully erect in this moment.
I don't think it is.
Do you think Perrin's turning into a wolf and trying to hunt down his passed out girlfriend? Like,
yeah.
Well, the first thing that came was sense of smell that he could smell.
I actually think the first thing that came was Perrin on Phil's unconscious ass. Anyway, that's tWoTcast for this week.
It's not even a good one. I love it.
If you have any comments or questions, the best way to find us is on Twitter. It's tWoTcast.
Listen wherever you get your podcasts. You can email us, tWoTcast@gmail.com.
Why are you so bad at that one?
I thought I was going to have to go.
tWoTcast theme songs brought to you by Taffy Bennington at Sing the Taffy on Twitter and Anarchy 101 on YouTube. And also everyone's favorite musician on hashtag Twitter of Time, Androl at Androl Genhold on Twitter and Androl Bard of Time on YouTube.
We're on Patreon, and we actually will be next time we record at patreon.com/tWoTcast. If you enjoy the show, which you do, help us out, give us some of your money, which you have a lot of, you filthy animal. Enjoy our exclusive sexual content only on Patreon.
Thanks to our new patrons, DK Moon and Harley, for joining our Patreon. Enjoy your exclusive content, I suppose. Exclusive content.
Exclusives? Do we put exclusive sexual content on Patreon?
It's just exclusive. It's all sexual content.
Is that what that teddy bear
everything we do
in my bedroom?
What? Yeah.
All right, join us next week for the Well Time Book 3, The Dragon Reborn, Part 14, covering chapters 54 through 56. You've been listening to Jono.
Jono.
Joe.
Keep the change, you filthy animals.
I'm Tom. Study your mouth.
Among the first to start, the tWoTcast was so smart to lovingly bash our favorite books. But that was long ago, and now they've grown the show, and now they got us in their hooks. Don't throw coins to these bastards, they need bars of gold at least. Someone please keep them afloat. Now let's listen as they once again ramble through a book. Let's get the fucking quote. One of them is Tom, but he is barely on. Sometimes he calls into the show. Another one is Jono. Is he their joker? Oh no. And Joe, is he the stupid one? Welcome to the tWoTcast. We will share our love for books and all our hate in every episode. We'll entertain you, make you laugh so hard you barely can stand up. That is the tWoTcast code.